Hey CG, I'm Sierra.
And I'm Maddie.
And we have your announcements from Friday, March 18, 2016.
This week we have several interesting features for you before we kick off the 2-week spring break.
To start off our broadcast today, Carson McCracken brings us a story about the current Leukemia Lymphoma Campaign. Lauren Tyson is an honored leukemia lymphoma survivor, and she shares part of her story.
I was 3.5 when I was diagnosed. I went through a lot of chemotherapy and I had a lot of time out of school just because there were other kids who would get sick and I wouldn't be allowed around them. It was hard. I got bullied a lot just because I lost my hair. So a lot of people would think that I was a boy. So it was hard.
How has going through chemotherapy when you were young affected you today?
Yeah, I have ADHD because of it, and I have mood swing problems.
A few weeks ago, CGTV introduced HOSA's Leukemia Lymphoma Campaign. Tyson explains why it's important to donate.
It's important because there are a lot of families who can't pay for themselves, and it really helps a lot for families just because some people can't afford all of the treatments that people need for the chemotherapy.
There are boxes where you can donate in both your star class and lunch cafeteria. Also, you can enter the drawing to win one of 3 things: a food party for you and 10 friends, a free parking pass for next year, or finally, win 2 free prom tickets. Thanks, Carson.
Up next, Tori Mickle brings us a wrap-up video for the competitive choir season.
Center Grove choirs have worked very hard in their prep for competition season. The season is ending, but they reflect on the good times and hard work they put in. Many will find that they grow a connection to their choir throughout the season.
My favorite part of being a Devtone has most definitely been Mr. Norman. He's just an awesome dude, and he really inspires us to push ourselves and be the best people we can be when we're in the group. But even just being with the girls and everything, we work so hard together, and once it pays off, it's the most fantastic thing that could ever happen.
Throughout the year before competitions, they work on a show set. Each set is unique.
My favorite part, I'm kind of biased, but it's my solo in the first number. Our show, basically, it starts out and it's opera, French style, and then it goes into Bohemian Rhapsody.
The opener was awesome. We had tap and jazz and elegant gown dancing and stuff, and that was really cool, just how it played all together. And then the second number was really fun. It was a character number, and it was really neat, and I had a solo, so that's fun. And then the ballad, it was just, we all had a connection to the ballad, and it was something that we could all kind of share and connect to, so that was, I think, one of the best parts of the show.
Many reflect on how they've grown since their first year, with the difficulty of dancing and learning the pieces.
Probably just working with our choreographer, Andy. He's always fun to work with, and he's a pretty good guy, so long as you don't get his bad side, which I haven't yet. Thank you, God.
Yes, learning the dances is very difficult. You don't think it is your first year it's really hard to pick stuff up fast. Your second year you pick it up a little faster, but it's just about repetition and going through everything and making sure that you have it down.
Well, one, I make sure that they remember what the heck they're supposed to bring, so I'll send out text reminders to people about stuff, and then I get them pumped up before we go on stage.
A competition is madness. You wake up at 6 in the morning typically. You get there and you do your hair and makeup, and there's 50 girls in one tiny 30-person room, and it's crazy.
Basically how our typical comp day goes is we wake up at 6, get out the competition around 8, 9ish, and then we sit around until either 12, just afternoon, so 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. is when we perform first.
Competitions, everyone's really loud in the audience, so they cheer you on just crazy, and so then you get a ton of energy from that, and so your performances are better. It has been awesome. We swept most of our competitions, and Eve's sound system even got a standing ovation from the judges this past time, and that was pretty awesome.
Thanks, Tori.
In general news, attention students who need driver's ed, the CIESC Driver's Ed course in the traditional classroom will be from April 18th through May 5th from 3 to 5:30 p.m., Monday through Thursday at Center Grove High School. You must register by April 12th at www.driversafe.com.
This year's prom will be here before you know it, and so student government has some information that juniors and seniors should know if they plan on attending.
First, online ticket sales will begin directly after spring break from April 4th to the 15th. Admission cost will be $40 per person, and the Crane Bay parking will cost $5. Students can also check coats upon arrival with the cost of $1. Also, for students that will be taking a date from a different school, you must pick up a guest form in the guidance office. And don't forget that all CGS students attending prom must be on the DAT list prior to purchasing a ticket. Each student will be breathalyzed at the door of Crane Bay.
Prom doesn't come around very often, so Stugo encourages all juniors and seniors to attend because it's sure to be a night to remember. So save the date for Saturday, May 7th, 7 to 11 p.m. at Crane Bay.
Remember, just because people use wheelchairs doesn't mean they are sick. Lots of people who use wheelchairs are healthy and strong and may not have intellectual disability.
March is Disability Awareness Month. By working together to create positive attitudes toward people with disabilities, we can create a better society, and that is a positive step for everyone.
Transitioning now into sports, Maddie Weeks brings us a video on all of the sports that will be up and rolling the second week of spring break.
While many students are utilizing their 2 weeks of spring break at the beach and by sleeping in, our spring sports are hard at work beginning their seasons with a jump start ahead of the competition. Here's an inside look into where these athletes will be going on their first week off.
I'm staying home. I have to get my wisdom teeth out. I'm not going anywhere.
St. Pete.
I'm going to Florida for first week.
I'm going to Tennessee.
I'm going nowhere for the first week.
I'm going to Tennessee for a few days.
Our spring sport athletes then share what a typical day of practice over spring break looks like.
Well, we have practice almost every day, and then we have games, I think, at the end of that week. You wake up and you kind of hang out for a little bit, and then you have practice around 3.
We do short court, and then we move back to full court and hit some balls, and then we play challenge matches and get better.
We practice usually in the mornings, and then we do team bonding in the afternoons.
Baseball practice, always staying on the grind.
Transitioning from vacation to full-on practice can be hard, but how do our athletes do it?
You just have to get mentally prepared for it and be ready to play. It's really hard because you go from doing nothing and then you go to doing something every single day.
I just jump right into it and go, you know?
When you get back, it's like really hard to get back in the swing of things, but you just have to go to practice and be motivated after taking a week off.
I make sure that I hit the first week, so I don't go a full week without hitting before practice.
No days off, there's no leisure.
Well, we don't really get a full week of leisure since we have to be back by Wednesday for the full week, for the first week. But it's sort of on us on like those 5 days off to make sure we throw and hit and condition a little bit so we're ready to get in full swing.
Well, each day we just got to on our own throw, work out, condition, and then we go to practice and we're ready.
Finally, we asked how this extra week of practice propels each team into their season.
It helps us a lot because we get more work in and we get to be able to get better every day and be ready for the season.
I think it gets us ready because it's actually the first full week of practice, and then we have our first match that Tuesday after we come back from spring break, so it gets us prepared.
Not all teams take both 2 weeks to practice, so we can definitely get a head start on the other teams.
I think we're going to be ready as a team mostly. Chemistry is going to build and we're fired up, we're ready to go. We get a little time to rest and prepare mentally before we can start the real season.
Since we're on spring break and we're practicing and we're all together, it builds good chemistry, which gets us ready for the first game.
This year we picked up a couple games in the second week of spring break, so this will help us so we don't have to open up with the MIC for the season, which is going to be nice so that we can get a few practices in and a couple games before we get back to school.
Thanks, Maddie.
Over the past few weeks, people from all over the U.S. have been busy filling out their brackets for March Madness. And at CG, you will find that many students also take part in the competition. Nate Maynard and Keaton Clark bring CG the video on this March tradition.
In light of this year's March Madness tournament, we decided to roam the halls of CG and listen to the people's thoughts on which team is going to win it all.
I think Kentucky's going to win.
Same here.
Michigan State.
Duke.
IU.
I want the Hoosiers to win, but I'm scared Michigan State's going to win.
IUPUI.
IUPUI.
Ivy Tech.
North Carolina. Michigan State. I think Kansas will win March Madness.
Education Connections going all the way, baby.
More than anything, I would say this year's one of the most open years I've ever seen as far as talent. But if I had to pick a team that I really think is going to win it, I think Kansas. The Kansas Jayhawks are playing really well right now. They've got a lot of talent, great athleticism, and they also have some go-to guys that can get baskets at the end. Which to make a deep tournament run, more than anything, you need guys that can make plays late in games, and they have that.
Anybody but Kentucky.
Thanks, guys.
From the beaches of Florida to the snow-covered mountaintops of Idaho, many students will be traveling over spring break. However, not everyone leaves Indiana. Jeremy Keish brings you a video on what to do on your staycation.
This quarter, the Trojan Year News Mag released a story about what to do during spring break around Indiana. We decided to go around the halls and see what the students' plans were for some of these activities. Sports fans can keep track of their March Madness brackets. We asked some of CG's bracketologists what their plans were for spring break in the tournament.
My plan is to try to watch every single game. I'm going to get multiple games at once. I'm trying to, and I'm going to keep my brackets up to date, hopefully, and go from there.
Students may not be going states away, but maybe just one state. St. Louis, Chicago, and Cincinnati are good weekend getaways. We talked to sophomore John Soderdahl about his plans for spring break.
This year for spring break, I'm going to an ultimate tournament in Cincinnati. It's going to be awesome. I'm not going anywhere near the beach, but that still doesn't mean it's going to not be fun.
This year, Easter will be during spring break. For the students that were stuck at home, how will they celebrate the spring holiday?
Me and my family celebrate Easter by staying at home, going to church on Easter Sunday, and going around and finding Easter eggs around our house, and whoever finds those Easter eggs gets special surprises that are inside.
For more information, look for the story about spring break staycations in the Trojan Year.
Thanks, Jeremy.
2 weeks ago, Jackson Keeley walked around the school with Mr. Short to get an inside look on the construction happening here at CG. However, this week we are going to change things up. Parker Ferguson and Sierra Bansamer bring us a parody of Flo Rida's song, My House, to spread the message about adapting to the construction at our school.
Tell them who's on the beats. Two-part?
First up.
Alright, man. Our school. It's our school right here.
Got it.
Open up the front doors. Pop. It's our school. Come on. Turn it up.
Always hear the bell ring and the day begins. Cause we've done this before, so come on in. Make yourself study up. Tell me where you've been. Get your iPad out, yeah, cheers to this.
Sometimes you gotta listen to the loud construction. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to our school. Baby, study up now. We can't even slow down. We all want to learn now. Welcome to our school. That construction's too loud. Changing up our school now. We don't like to go out. Welcome to our school. Welcome to our school. Morning comes and you know that you wanna get up. Ride the bus, get to school and study up. Keep our iPads close, open up Canvas. In terms of learning, yeah, we're all anxious. Sometimes you gotta listen to the loud construction. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to our school, baby, study up now. We can't even slow down. We all want to learn now. Welcome to our school. That construction's too loud. Changing up our school now. We don't like to go out. Welcome to our school. Welcome to our school. Welcome to our school, ooh, the institution, the pad. But my school is your school. If you learning about math, you can bet our school will make you glad. 'Cause we got clubs and sports just like that. Home run, slam dunk, touchdown pass. Mi casa es su casa, and language is like that. Canvas assignments, yeah, paper is in the past. It's our school, just relax. Welcome to our school, baby, study up now. We can't even slow down. We all want to learn now. Why did we stop? It's our school.
That video looks like it would have been fun to make. Thanks, guys.
Now Sam Aquino brings you a video about the Pie in the Face competition.
We made $218 in the 2 weeks in our buckets, and then through the auction we made $46, which gave us a grand total of $264.
Key Club and Project Hope decided to team up and pie teachers in the face as a tribute to Kara Haynes and her foundation.
Getting pie in the face, it felt pretty good, actually. She kind of missed, so it kind of landed right here in my head and bounced off, but I've been pied in the face before, so not a problem. It felt pretty good. It was for Project Hope that our student Kara Haynes started, so I really, I would have eaten a worm to raise money for her foundation, but I just had to get pied in the face. Of anything, I wish we would have raised more money, so I'm hoping that we can do another fundraiser and get more money to support Kara's foundation.
No one likes getting pied in the face, but it's for a good cause, so I'm all about that. The worst part is when sort of the whipped cream dries and you have that like dairy smell that lingers on. Like, that's the worst part of it. And the reason that I always sign up to get pied, it's the second year that I've done it and the second year that I've got pied in the face, is because I always feel like students probably like pieing me in the face, so I can raise a lot of money then for the fundraiser.
Hello everybody from Madison Square Garden. I agreed to get pied in the face because it was for a great cause. It was going to be something that was fun, kids would enjoy, and always be memorable. I don't know the person that pied me, but they paid $10 to do it, which I thought was impressive. But he definitely did a good job. I was sneezing whipped cream out of my nose and finding it in my ears and everywhere. It was in my shoes for the rest of the day. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope we get to make a nice contribution.
After I was pied in the face, I was really shocked at how cold it was. I've never been pied in the face before. And my second thought was I need to go clean this off right away, but it was really fun. And why I chose to get pied in the face, I really support Project Hope and everything that it stands for. I feel that teen mental illness is a huge issue in society that needs to be addressed, and I'm very happy that I took the challenge to allow us to raise money for such a great cause.
Thank you all so much for the money you've donated. It made such a difference. We couldn't have done it without you.
Thanks, Sam. And that's all we have here this week, CG.
Enjoy spring break.
Bye.
Bye.